now we're ready to sandwich the pillow pieces all together, and I'm going to start with the front of the pillow so the pocket is showing. And as I mentioned before, I have the pocket just pinned, or maybe you did a basting stitch to the main fabric. I scooted it a little away from the edge because I will be doing a zigzag stitch around, and I just didn't want to run over a pin, so I moved my pins in. Mine look about an inch from the edge. You probably don't have to go that far, but we just want it to be held in place while we're sewing around. So you're going to start with the main part of the pillow, the front of the pillow facing up, and then you're going to take the outer envelope piece, the one with the straight stitch, the one that is 16 by 12 inches. Now it's a little shorter because of your hem, but you're going to start with that piece and align it to the right side. So right sides facing together, and align the right edges. And once you've done that, you'll take the underlapping piece with the zigzag stitch, the one that started off as 9 by 16 inches, and you're going to place it with the wrong side up. So again, we're going to keep the fabric right sides together, the printed part of the fabric facing down here, and you're going to align it along the left hand edge, which I think is probably a little cut off on the camera, but we want to align the left edges. Okay, so you'll have a little bit of overlap, but the zigzag, if you want to check, your zigzag stitch should be on top, and it should be kind of in the middle of your square here, and then underneath you have your hemmed edge. So this is another good chance to make sure you got your hem on the right side. The top, if you have a directional print, should be up here, and your hem should be on the left hand side. Okay, so if you did not want to do a handle, you would just zigzag stitch around all 4 sides, and then you'd turn it inside out, take, chopsticks or something long and skinny to poke out the corners, and that would make your pillow. But I'm going to show you where the handle goes, and I'm not sure, it's on a tripod, so I don't know how well I'll capture this on the camera, but I'll do my best to explain. You're going to want to put your handle between the front of your pocket, the front portion of your fabric, so this one here is my pink fabric, and between the outer envelope piece, so the one with the straight stitch. Okay, so I like to keep it about maybe like a ½ inch, the ends of the fabric poking up, maybe a little more than ½ inch, and I'm going to make sure that it gets under these 2 layers here. And you got to kind of think about who it's for. You want to make sure it's not so close to the edge that a little infant or toddler could get their head through the handle. So I just kind of think about that and adjust as necessary. I want to center this as best I can, so you could get out your tape measure and center it. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it here, and then I might use a pin. I'm going to see if I can get a Wonder Clip to hold it in place here, just to see if I like where it's at. Okay, and so then I might take a little tape measure and just see that I'm not too far off. So this looks like it's about 4 1/4, maybe a little more from the edge. And then on this side, I can see that it's more like 5, so I'm way off here. I want to scoot that one down a little. And so I'll just make adjustments till I get it kind of about an even distance from each side. Okay, so there's 4.5, and that's about 4.5, so we'll call that good. And again, I have about 1/2 inch, maybe a little more sticking up from the ends of my handle. So then it's gonna get sandwiched underneath the outer layer, the straight stitch envelope piece. And then I'm just gonna clip it all the way around to get it ready for sewing. And again, just like if I didn't use the handle, I would I'd do the zigzag stitch all the way around. So I'm ready to start my zigzag stitch around the whole perimeter of this square. You want to make your zigzag stitch about 1/4 inch from the edge of the fabric. When you get to one end, you're going to pivot your fabric by just lifting the presser foot but keeping the needle down and just turning it. And you know, you'll let your zigzag stitch come pretty close to the edge, but then you can just continue on your way. When you get close to your handle, you'll want to remove your clips or pins, and this is the thickest spot, so just go nice and slow here. Make sure your handles are staying perpendicular to the fabric. Okay, so I made it over that one, and I'm just gonna make sure my pieces stay aligned. Smooth as you go. Once you've zigzag stitched around the whole sandwich, it's always a good idea to check the other side and make sure that you caught all the fabric, that it didn't run off any of the edges on the other side. And so this looks really good. So now comes the fun part where you get to turn it inside out and see how your case turned out. And just remember, you're going to have some pins in there that you're going to want to pull out. And so now you'll want to make sure that you have a little chopstick, or I use the blunt end of the little shish kebab skewers sometimes. I don't have one handy with me right now, so I'm just trying to poke it out with my finger as best I can. But you'll want to poke out the edges, and I can go back later and make sure they're all the way poked out. But I always do it gently, so I don't want to bust open any seams. But you can see I have my envelope flap now to tuck in my pillow, and then I have the front side is all ready to go with the pocket and a little carrying handle. So it turned out really cute. I'm gonna put a pillow in it now to see what it looks like and get the full effect. The pillow that I'm using, I just got at a local craft store. Just make sure you get the right size. I made a 16-inch pillow here, and it just says Polyfill Premier Ultra Plush Pillow Insert. So just make sure that it's 16 by 16. Now the pillow's in. You can see it's nice and cozy looking, especially with that quilting on the main fabric. It's got a nice deep pocket for all kinds of book sizes, and then on the back I just kind of tucked the little care tag, smoothed that out flat, but there's the zigzag stitch in there, and it is hidden nicely by the outer flap here. And of course there's a carrying handle that feels like it's in there nice and sturdy when I tug on it. So I can't wait to give this to my 3-year-old. She really loves Sarah and Duck, and so I think she'll be excited excited to see this pillow. I hope you enjoyed this two-part video series on how to make a quilted reading pillow with a handle. For full written directions, please visit my shop at aquiltingtale.com to download a free PDF. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and happy reading!